Nice.
Hola!
Oh, it zooms in whenever you
Yeah, I
do
know! That's why I tried to back it up. And then you messed it up. Sorry, camera angling is a big butt. Okay.
What's up, bruh?
There we go.
I'm gonna look some up on my computer though, because my phone doesn't usually give. Excuse me.
Hold it right there. Please stay. Please stay.
Yep, see, like, Kristen, you're nothing.
Okay.
As long as none of us get up and jump up and down, it's gonna shake the thing. No, Lindy! See, like, what I play with the thing.
Okay.
Honestly, I think it's better if I stand up, but
So,
It looks fine.
what are we doing today?
We're telling
reading ghost stories out loud.
Who is this person? I don't know her. And who is this person?
Ow, that
Oh,
actually
sorry.
hurt.
We don't know you either.
I don't know them.
It's okay.
Why am I making a video with them? I don't know. I'm just at this random person's house, and so yeah.
Oh, you're a liar.
I'm sorry, random weird person's house.
Okay, this one's just funny and weird at the same time. I
Okay,
can't
so this
read
is
it.
Grace, and this is Lyric.
No, I'm Nightcrawler.
Yeah, and I'm
She's
Mysterious
Nightcore
Life.
Ash, and she's Mysterious Life. Go follow them now.
It's called subscribing.
Okay, you want me to read it?
No, you might not want to read this one.
Let me read it.
You know, you don't read it out loud.
When he started, what? What? What is this happening? What? Oh.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I had my foot right here.
Okay, so just letting you know, yesterday when we were recording,
I
something.
recorded a video that was way too long and had too many orb counts. Oh, fridge.
That's what I was about to talk about.
Too many
Back
orbs
here.
in it, and I had to
had-
do the orb
It
count.
had like 13 or 14 orbs in it, and we were
So,
only 4 minutes in.
You know those like creepy orb things that show up? Well, we were making a video, and a bunch of those orbs showed up, and so we decided that her room is haunted. So,
Yeah, we're in there right now. So.
well, why not read, haunted
Alright, we'll finish
stories.
That. Don't read it out loud.
Yeah,
but...
stories.
In August
Dude,
2016,
No.
in North London,
No.
26-year-old Kennedy Ife began acting strange
Don't.
and aggressive. Following pain in his throat, he reportedly bit his father, threatened to cut off his own donkey, and complained of a python or snake inside of him before his family restrained him to a bed with cable ties and excessive force. Now I know why you told me not to read that.
Wait, I have a story. Okay, so
You're gonna say what happened last night?
no, like it's an actual story that I read on this. I remembered it from like the Halloween party whenever we told the stories. This story is called The Shriek. So I don't know why I'm so close to the camera. So what happened?
Am I still on the camera frame?
Yes, you are.
Straight.
Okay, I can't see myself.
I am
okay?
straight.
I'm back.
Ah. You want my All Might? See, want that All Might.
Go.
Alright, guys.
Just leave.
That was my
Leave.
Whee!
Tell us about a movie before the thing or
It's not
story.
movie.
I know.
Okay, so there were two kids. There was an older brother and a younger brother. We'll call the older brother Joe, and the younger brother Billy.
I remember this story.
So
I'm gonna straighten up.
them two, they had to share a room because there wasn't a whole lot of money, and they had two separate beds. And well, no, they had to share a bed at the first, and then on the older brother's 10th birthday, he got his own bed. Well, every night he would hear a shriek or like a scream coming from somewhere in the room, but he couldn't
No, not yet.
pinpoint where it was coming from.
Okay.
Just say the story.
But he couldn't pinpoint where it was coming from. And he would feel a small figure get in the bed beside him. He thought it was his brother, so he would just tell him that it's okay and to be quiet. What are you looking at?
Who?
And that it was okay.
There's a squirrel.
Squirrel? And tell him that it was okay. I know I've repeated that 3 times, but this lady won't.
Dude, stop.
Okay. Well, soon, a couple nights later, it had been happening for that couple of nights. It had happened again. And Joe, in the morning, was planning to tell his brother about it and that it was all okay, that he didn't need to get in the bed with him. Well, they woke up, and whenever they were eating breakfast, Joe told Billy that it was okay, it was nothing, and he didn't need to crawl into bed with him. And his little brother looked at him and said, "That wasn't me."
What are you doing?
Oh no. Okay, Grace, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm finding one. No, it's actually, well, the one that you read wasn't actually really scary. So.
Why?
You looked them up on your computer.
Maybe I can find one next. All of mine are like people who killed themselves. I really can't find any that was normal.
What caused that?
Shout out to the Amity Affliction.
Good grief. Okay. Sorry, this is boring. I'm trying to find some things, but we can't really find any.
Okay, I got one. Here we go. Let me get it. Okay. The translucent egg-shaped shuttle glided silently to the curb. A bright light flashed in my face, causing my vision to blur, and a second later a woman's gentle voice said, "Welcome aboard, Andrew." The interior of the shuttle was an Airbnb, sparse but inviting. I sat on the gray leather bench and pulled out my phone. There were several bottles of water next to a box of Kind bars and some seclusants.
There's no. Oh yeah, there is.
Smooth jazz oozed from hidden speakers. But this shuttle stayed stationary, and my phone was dead. A black rectangular void. The company shuttles were ascending rolling...
What?
Faraday cages.
Faraday. Not Farrah.
No wireless service allowed. They had to be for what came next. The mood lighting suddenly shifted to a spastic, woozy display of neon pinks, blues, and greens. As an advertisement for the latest energy drink consumed the shuttle's interior. All trips via the company shuttles this month were subsidized by the energy drink. That's why they were so cheap. Next month would be underwritten by dandruff shampoo, the month after that, the U.S. Army. The ad was louder than it needed to be. The flashing cicada lights were starting to make my eyes burn. I remember a time when you could skip after 5 seconds. I remembered being able to opt out.
What, is that it? You're on the same thing that I was.
What are you on?
It's chapters. I didn't notice it was chapters.
Oh.
It's chapters. Okay, yeah, we're
What
just.
are y'all on?
Hold on. I'm gonna listen
We're
to some
good.
of these and see if I can like take them and put them into my own words, kind of.
Alright, well, I've got one now.
Okay.
I might not be able to read it very fast, but the phone stalker. Blah, 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 blah. A series of cell phone calls to families with terrifying specific death threats. The unidentified callers knew exactly what families were doing and what they were wearing. The families say the calls come in at all hours of the night, threatening to kill their children, their parents, and grandparents. Voicemails arrive playing recordings of their private conversations, including one with a local police detective. The caller knows the family said what they're wearing and what they're doing, and after months of investigating, police seem powerless to stop them. It's been on with some name I can't spell family or pronounce for months, who reported a caller with a scratchy voice threatening to slit their throats. When the Firecrest Walsh police tried to find the culprit, the calls were traced back to the family's own phones, even when they were turned off. It got worse. The family and two other Firecrest families told ABC News that they believe the callers are using their cell phones to spy on them. They say the hackers know their every move, where they are, what they're doing, and what they're wearing. The callers have recorded private conversations, the families and police said, including a meeting with a local detective. Now, that wasn't too scary, but...
I've got one that I remember from this app I had. So, one night, let's just say this boy named... Give me a name.
Billy.
Okay.
Alan.
I like Alan better.
Yeah,
So, Alan was a good kid, straight A's in school. None of that matters. Okay. So,
Doesn't matter.
I know, nothing matters. So, one day when he was going to bed, he wasn't very tired, so he stayed up a couple hours. And then he had to go to the bathroom. So, when he got up, he heard some screams. He was just like, that ain't usual. Nuh-uh. So, he went to go use the bathroom. He went to go use the bathroom first before he investigated. Well, when he started walking out of the bathroom, when he was finished doing his thing, there was a monstrously tall, skinny, rubbery skinned, I don't know how to describe it, hairless rat looking thing with white skin, with monstrous teeth, very sharp teeth, and had demon looking eyes, black pits, right in front of the bathroom door, right as he cracked it open. When it went away, he went in his room. And he heard it coming back. So he laid down, he covered his head over with a blanket. I remember this story so vividly and I hate it. And so he heard the thing coming back, and so he flipped over and he still acted like he was asleep, but he opened his eyes so that just a little, so that he could see what was going on. The monster thing dragged his mom and put it in a seat beside his bed. His mom is dead. Like, flat out dead as a doornail, done. So, she's, the thing, we're just gonna call it a rat. Monster-sized rat. It was ginormous. I still remember what it looks like. It was terrible. Anyways, so the rat thing set up his mom in a chair staring at him, and then it went away, and then it dragged his dad in there and put him on the end of the bed and did the same thing. But then the monster thing climbed underneath his bed, and he knew if he made an inch, no, it scribbled something on the wall and then it got underneath the bed. So he knew that if he moved an inch, it would immediately know that he was awake and he would be dead for good. So he waited a little bit until his eyes had adjusted because it was way too dark to see what it had written in blood on the wall. And when his eyes adjusted and he saw it, it said, "I know you're awake." That story literally gave me chills for so long.
Okay, I've got one. Okay, this one's really creepy. I remember it from a YouTube video. Alright, I'll just call this girl Elizabeth. And she's used to her dog getting under the bed and always licking her, so she'd always put her hand down there, waiting for him to lick her.
I heard that story. I didn't like it. It was freaky.
And then she did that every day. So after that, she'd go to sleep. She woke up again, heard something dripping, but she didn't think it was anything. So she stuck her hand back down there to see if her dog was still there. Her dog licked her. So she went back to sleep. Same thing happened again. She woke back up, her dripping. Still, she didn't check. She just made sure her dog was down there. So she put her hand down there and her dog licked it. But then next time, she finally went up and checked, and her dead dog was there, and there was like a dry erase board or something that said humans can lick too. Yeah, I didn't tell that too scary enough, but
That's just nasty.
it's creepy because you don't expect someone to be under your bed while you're sleeping, licking your hand when you think it's your dog. Listen, I hope no one's under my bed.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I gotta tell you that. Okay, so I was looking on Google, and I saw the saying that says, "I farted once on stage while giving a speech to the governor. He was visiting the university, and I was supposed to be some kind of ambassador. It was so embarrassing. He farted in front of the governor."
Okay. Sorry.
I don't like find anything on here. Oh, probably because I'm looking at images. Why am I at images?
I didn't do that.
Oh yeah, because I clicked on that.
Okay, so let me think of another one.
Guess what? I found the one that you were supposed to read out loud, Lindy.
You did?
Yeah, I did.
Trying to trace back. Oh! I remember one.
I have one.
So, one night, little, what's his name? Jimmy. We're gonna call him Jimmy.
Wait a second, I have a story.
No, I want to finish my story.
Okay.
So,
I got one.
little Jimmy, woke up in the middle of the night, and you know that creepy feeling that you get when you wake up in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m.? Yeah.
That how you're being watched and you can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, that you feel watched and you can't stop feeling watched, and it's creepy. And so he went out. So he checked the house. No one was in the house. Everything's fine. So he looked outside. There was a clown dancing in his front yard.
Pennywise!
I know! There's a clown dancing in his front yard, frolicking and playing, and whatever. So, you're killing the mood right now. So,
Wait, what? What are you doing?
in the middle of
keep
him
spinning
dan-
around making faces.
in the middle of him dancing, he went behind a. I don't want to say this word because it would sound wrong. Rake. I didn't say it.
Huh?
We're gonna say tools here. So
what
it went behind a rake, and it disappeared. I am not ladylike.
I don't know
Okay.
what that means, but
None of us are really, except for her.
Yeah, she's somewhat ladylike. So,
me?
yes. So
This chair is so fluffy.
he came back, but this time, apparently he had teleported because he went and he came out of a hoe. That's
hole?
what hoe.
Oh,
That's what I didn't want to say earlier.
a gardening hose?
Yes.
Okay, it's not necessarily a bad word unless you use it that way.
Yeah, no. And so, yeah. And he freaked out, and then the thing disappeared.
I don't know why I said
The
that.
clown disappeared. It was 4 a.m. It disappeared. So he went back to sleep. He fell asleep. He had a good night's rest. The next morning, 3 a.m., he woke up again. He looked outside his window. The clown was there. He was dancing and frolicking, teleporting, 4 a.m. Goes away. He goes back to sleep. Next day, 3 a.m. The clown starts digging something with a shovel in the middle of the yard. It looked like a grave. And he said to himself, like in his head, he was thinking to himself, he said, at least that isn't my grave. At least he doesn't know I'm here. And then the clown turned around. He immediately dodged behind the curtains and acted like nothing was there. He had like somewhat see-through curtains. So he looked through the curtains and the clown had gone back to digging. And he said, phew, that was a close one. At least he didn't see me. The next thing he knew, the clown turned around, looked at him, said hi. He went. He said, do you like this? And he said no. He was just like, why? And he said, I don't want it. And he said, yes, you do. No, you don't. So they had an argument.
Yes,
And
I do. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't.
And so the next thing you knew, it stabbed the shovel in the ground and it disappeared behind it.
And then it goes all the way to his
He
room.
said, at least he's gone. It's 4 a.m. He checked his clock. It is 3:30 in the morning. And then he heard some rustling behind him. He turned around. Nothing was there. Then something walked out of the closet. It was the clown. And he was never seen or heard from again.
Right
I
now, I
got a
want to do this.
Guys, I've got a story.
Wait, I have a...
No, she has a story. She called next.
Okay,
Actually,
so...
I did, actually, but
She called next.
I didn't.
So, if you're a creepypasta fan, you've probably already heard this story. The story of Sally Williams.
Just a second. We gotta go for a minute.
What? Why? What's up? Okay, so Lindy is now gone. She came back from the grave we stuck her in. Oh, wait, you're not supposed to know that. I'm joking.
I'll leave. I'll go back in my grave. Bye.
Bye. Okay, but if you're a Creepypasta fan, you
It's
probably
just
already
us now.
heard. What?
It's just this now.
And you probably already. Foot. And you probably already heard the story of Sally Williams.
I'm a fan and I haven't heard it.
So, I believe she's 6.
I think she's 5.
She ain't 5.
Yeah,
I don't know. She's somewhere from 4 to 6. Or 7. I don't know. She's somewhere around in there. Okay. So,
maybe she's 8.
Sally went down for breakfast one morning. And her mom told her that her Uncle Johnny was coming. Well, Sally looked at her mom and said, "Are my cousins coming too?" And her mom said, "No, just your Uncle Johnny this time." Well, a couple hours later, her Uncle Johnny came. Bro!
Dude, that was on
Farting from the dead.
Oh, God. I'm glad this is going on your channel, not mine.
Actually, it might be going on mine since I'm gonna be the one editing it.
It's going on my channel.
And I will have
She
the
can
video.
send it to herself. Oh, well. But, okay. So her Uncle Johnny got there and stuff. She was all excited. Like, she was like, okay, let's go. This is my Uncle Johnny. We're going to have some fun. And so that night, she went to go get ready for bed. And since she's like 4 to 7 years old, and nobody really thought about anything whenever Uncle Johnny said that she would help her get ready for bed. Well,
That she would help her get ready for bed?
no, that her Uncle Johnny would help her get ready for bed. Well, okay, real quick pause. This story actually kind of makes me sad because it's sad that people have to do this for anything. Well, so Sally's mom came up and was going to help her get ready. What are you doing? Was going to help her to get ready for bed. What the heck? Was going to help her get ready for bed. But her Uncle Johnny was like, "I'll do it. I'll help her get ready for bed. You go and you get ready for bed," and all that stuff. Well, her mom was like, "Okay, that's sweet of you. Thank you," and stuff. And she went to go get ready for bed. Well, Sally's Uncle Johnny turned around, shut the door, and locked it. And
Why lock?
I really don't like this story. It makes me really sad.
Just do it.
I know it happens.
I don't. I have a feeling I know, but I don't.
I have come back from the dead.
Oh, God.
It's like the first words. Oh, God.
Well, Sally was getting her nightgown on, and her Uncle Johnny turned and looked at her and said, "You want to play a game?" Sally, not thinking anything about it and being a young child, liking games, was like, "Yeah, let's play a game." Well, she woke up the next morning and went to her mom. Once her Uncle Johnny left for the day, she went to her mom and
Oh, I see it now. I see what's about to happen.
and looked at her and stuff, and her mom asked her something, and I can't promise that this is going to be way too accurate because it's been a little while since I've heard the story. Her mom asked her what was wrong and everything, and Sally starts crying. And Sally tells her, she goes, "He wanted to play a game with me. I don't want to play his game."
And I've
then
heard this one. Yeah, I know what happened.
I don't like to say this. I don't know. I feel like we're going to get demonetized if I say this.
It's fine.
Then just spell it. Do something. Or say a word that rhymes with it. Because there are tons of those.
Okay, look, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna care. She looked at her mom and said that he touched her. Well, her mom got really kind of scared. And she was like, who said this? Who said all this? Well, Sally was crying so much that she couldn't say anything. And so her mom looked at her and said, it's okay, it was just a nightmare. Well, Sally's dad comes home, and her Uncle Johnny comes home, and Sally's outside playing with her friends, being a kid, and Sally's mom takes her dad inside and tells her about what Sally said. Well, he gets furious and stuff, and her mom was just like, it's okay, it was just a nightmare, promise it's okay. Well, he was still mad, and he was thinking the whole time, who would do this to my child? And everything. And then, her Uncle Johnny comes in the house, and her Uncle Johnny was eavesdropping on him, and he was really mad. Well, he brought Sally inside and stuff. And they went inside, they ate lunch and all that. Sally was like her usual self, just a little bit more depressed, like polite and stuff, but just kind of had like a sad aura about her. Well, that night, her Uncle Johnny helped her again, and this time he was really mad, though. He looked at her and said, you weren't supposed to tell anybody about our little game. Sally gets really scared, and it all happens over again. And the next morning,
Alright, can you speed this up a little bit? My phone's almost dead, and I really want to tell mine.
Okay. The next morning, her Uncle Johnny, a couple hours after morning, her Uncle Johnny tells her parents that Sally wanted to go to the store with him, and they were like, okay, that's cool. And so her Uncle Johnny takes her, but they don't go to the store. They go to the parking lot for the park, and nobody being there because it was a Sunday, everybody was at church and at home and stuff. He got really mad and stuff, and long story short for this part, he killed her. Okay, that's my story.
Alright.
That was the longest I've ever.
Alright, this is called Car Ride. There is a man standing on the side of the road hitchhiking